Hello there, and welcome to the semi-finals of the second ever Master League tournament. This is the Commander Terminator. I am AE. I'm here with Asiamint in the south, as the Soviets, and the three-time world champion of Company of Heroes is in the north. It's Devem. Who do you see, Devem?
In the north, I see Isildur coming in from the UK, and he's a very good player, and he's ready to fight Asiamint.
And what the hell is this Commander? Is this not an elite mega tournament? Why is this not Wehrmacht? Why is this not Ostrup and Devem? Can you explain it to me?
I think that's to do with the map. I played Isildur on this map, and we found out that Ostrupen might not be the best choice here. So I think he probably went around and practiced with this new commander. I think he played once against me with this, and it's all about that early aggression with the scout car. But it's also very risky, so we see how it goes.
So we have two of the best in the world. I mean, Isildur was definitely a dormant volcano. He started to look really good last year, didn't he, Dev? I mean, he won the 1v1 Elite Showdown of summer last year, and then since then he's been waiting, let's say. And then he's come back, and he had a fantastic run in auto match. Did you happen to play him a lot before this tournament?
Yeah, I did. It was my practice kind of go-to player. Yeah, so I think Isildur is a very good player, very underrated as well. I'm not sure how he didn't have any tourney winnings before, but I'm excited to see that he's now on the semi-finals of this tournament against Asiamint.
Oh, and the conscripts didn't want to tango as soon as they saw the Sternbinders. They go back in, and they now are well and truly outnumbered. That's a hard retreat. Yes, indeed it is. Of course it is. Where's his backup? He's got two more conscripts on the field with another combat engineer to follow. How are you analysing this one, Devon? The build orders, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that Easy is probably going to have that either scout car soon out, or he's going to go for the aft track. And we can see that's also focusing the munitions from the Soviet player, so he isn't going for his field just right about now. And we have some pressure on the center VP as well, coming in from the engineers now.
Yes, we do. We've got multiple pressure. Of course, the Sternbinders are going to get focus fired, and here they are. Izzy needs to see that because he's going to drop some very expensive models very soon indeed. Focus Grenadier is also low behind the sandbags. Sternbinders are pushed away somehow with all three Pioneers intact. Yeah. That's a bit lucky.
Yeah, he's trying to conserve manpower. Let's see if he can get some models on retreat here with the conscripts.
Oh, he gets two on retreat, possibly even another one. Oh,
that's
just outside the range.
Those are costly to reinforce.
Very costly to reinforce. We do have of course, it's the 2-2-1, which can become a 2-2-3 later on. That's going to be out on the field, and that's going to be the arrow tip to his shaft very soon.
Yeah, let's see how Asiamint responds to that. I'm expecting 18-8, but for now he probably doesn't expect the scout car to come into the field, so...
For the team line, we do now have a fuel denial and possibly a cutoff coming in from Asiamint. So in terms of map control, 1-0 to the South Korean.
Yeah, I think it's to be expected, really. Soviets do have the upper hand against OKW in the early parts of the match with the conscript plus engineer combo. Although you usually see this kind of map control after the flamers are upgraded onto the engineers.
2-2-1's going to come for the push out of the cover. It's enough to just threaten him because, of course, there was the Polish hammer on retreat. The blob was assembling, and the conscript's going to have to get the back out there. We do have SVT rifles on one of the other conscripts, 3 built in total with a 4th to come. And then again, the 2-2-1's continuing. Izzy is back in force.
It seems that he's really preoccupied with the scout car at the moment. He isn't taking anything that will help him kill the scout car.
Interesting. He's going for an ignoring the fact that it exists strategy. Just like
yeah,
global
exactly.
warming. You just want to pretend it's not there and we'll all be fine. Just learn how to sail. You'll be able to get to work. It'll be fine.
It's all a hoax.
Exactly. 2-2-1's a hoax. It's fake news. Have you been watching CNN, Devon? 2-2-1 does not exist.
God damn it, I missed that. We do have 18-8s now.
Oh, we do. There we go. So he's teched them and he's... Ah, he must have healing as well. It's just... Indeed he has, yeah. He's hard retreating a fully manned squad.
Yeah. This is a very kind of scary composition for Isildur to fight though. 4 conscripts and with the SVTs coming in as well, I don't think the scout car will be enough.
No, indeed. The conscripts are forcing away the 2-2-1 with the threat of an 18 aid behind them. They've also got flanking squads coming in, so this 2-2-1's days of numbers. They're also now going to get spotted, trying to repair, which can keep him out of combat for even further. Asiamint has full reconnaissance and intel on his opponent's movements right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would like to see an FG coming in from Isildur. Needs the control of the field as well on the south.
Got a German in chat, of course, reminding me to call it as 521 once in this stream. So I'm a deliverer of dreams, Devan. You know, the AE system. I'm always here, happy to help. 2 combat engineers coming for the Foch Grenadiers on the eastern side of the flank here. SVT rifles against them, but we've had a nice incendiary grenade. Meanwhile, here we go. We've possibly got the... Is he within range for the 18 aid? He's getting so close. Could get him with small arms fire. One more penetration. Gets him.
Oh, he still got it. Yeah, this is very bad right now. I don't think that this is going how easy he wanted with the scout car. Gambled and it didn't pay off.
Oh no, it did not indeed. I mean, they're not the most expensive of things, of course, but that's beside the point. It's all about pressure in elite level 1v1, and if you lose that pressure, you can lose the game if your opponent keeps up their position. And Asiamint's one of the best and fastest mechanical players in the world at the moment, so if he's in control, Devem, it's very difficult to shake him off, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Giving this kind of advantage to Asiamint early on is not what you want in the start of the series.
Let's look out for a sneaky squad wipe now to get him back in the game. I mean, Asiamint isn't the kind of guy that gets overconfident, but it can happen to the best of us. So here we go. We got SVT conscripts getting forced away by the Kar 98K rifles. The Sturmgewehr's blaring. Combat engineers hold the line for now, and
HMG fire drop from the airborne commander, of course.
There it is, reinforcing back behind checkpoint Charlie, ready to attack once more. But Isildur's not going away anytime soon, Devem. He's not obviously not lost any squads, just the 2-2-1, which is roughly the equivalent of losing like a worker unit, I suppose.
Problem is, I think that even though right now the map is shifting into Isildur's favor, Asiamint was able to stockpile quite a bit of fuel meanwhile, and he also didn't suffer manpower losses, which means he'll be able to attack without losing the pressure on the map almost.
Well, let's have a little look at the KD actually. It takes the game down to half speed just so we can check it out. You can see Izzy has a slight lead, but it is against conscripts, of course, so it doesn't really matter. Dushka's firing, conscripts use that as an opportunity to close the distance, but it is the MG34 waiting for Asiamint.
We see the preemptive Katana warfare coming in from Isildur. I mean, it's a good bet that T70 is coming out, but it's actually not quite there yet. I think
conscripts
this shows
flanking.
That...
Sorry, go on, what does it show, Devon?
It shows that Isildur knows he's completely on the back foot, and he's already expecting a T70 when it's not even near there.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he knows he's very behind.
I mean, I don't know about you. I've kind of theorized that elite level players are best off waiting for a tank because they can keep things back with snares and better positioning. They don't have to necessarily knee-jerk AT gun build. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think?
I think generally that's a correct statement, but I think the only exception is the T70, of course, which is like a wipe machine.
Yeah.
And if it goes into the field with no counter, then do some really bad stuff.
But Asiamint's going for something different here. He's using the SVT rifles as the manpower attrition, and then he's backing them up with support weapons, which, for my money, makes a perfect hunting ground for, of course, the Sturmtiger later on. Not if he has multiple AT guns, of course, but it can certainly be a perfect opportunity.
That would be very nice if you went for that. I don't think we've seen that in the tournament, the Sturmtiger, just yet.
Not quite yet, no, and it's the perfect hotbed for it with this Commander Terminator of this huge rocket launcher on the field. It'd be pretty cool.
I think that Asiamint, yeah, he's probably going to skip D70 now, going for the D34 spam.
Yeah, he feels he's that ahead, Devem. He thinks he can do it. And let's check out in base as he's got the Tankovi battalion starting to be constructed. Let's see if he goes straight into mechanized.
Yeah, I think he will. And I think that right now the Asiamint's unit composition is better than Easy's, so these SVT cons will only get worse for the OKW player.
Here we go, we've got the Zisk gun, of course, destroying cover. Now, meaning the Stern Pioneers have to reposition. Do they lose? Yeah, of course they lose a model. Perfect showing of top-level play there, of course. I know it's not that crazy to deny cover with an AT gun, but it certainly separates the mortals and the casuals from the top tier, you know. It's always good to see these little things.
It's the little details that matter.
It's all these little details. They might not be impressive on a small basis, but the top level players do all of them consistently, without fail, you know. Unfortunately, he's been forced away.
Yeah.
Mine watch Devem. Have you seen any planted quite yet?
I did see one in center from Asiamint, but I think it got blown up meanwhile. Yeah.
34 with a very aggressive planting there, and of course forcing the conscripts away. And let's just take a moment to thank K-Pen for an excellent map he's created. It had a shaky start. It was a little bit too open. I think the hedgerows have come in to make it quite an interesting alternative to Longras or Crossing in the Woods as like our token open map. You know, I think it's quite a good one, and it certainly looks pretty good. So let's all look forward to that being an auto match in the next month or so, hopefully.
It's also a very good kind of a Tegan map. So these guns here are really good. So.
Yes, as ever with an open map, AT guns are king. We saw that a little bit on Bayo, which is quite open. With in the last tournament, Barson went ham just by building AT guns and nothing else. You know.
What's the engineer doing? It was kind of trying to blow up the Rakatan.
Was it really? Oh my god, he's going to demo him. He certainly feels in full control as Mr. Asiamint right now.
You got to get off as well.
Again, second time that the Soviet players obtained the cutoff. He himself has not been cut off once all game.
Yeah, you know, it's looking very good for Asiamint right now. Even though Easy only lost the cutoff for a short while, it's still map control shouldn't be at this stage.
And one thing I've noticed, Devem, is the reconnaissance and positioning of Asiamint. Basically, the... Oh, we just had a loss. What was it?
I think it was a Sternpire, it was.
Oh, it was in the center, looks like. Oh dear, oh dear. Because he's been stretched right now in terms of 3 engagements on the battlefield, he managed to lose a Stern Pioneer. Oh dear, oh dear. And that's what you get when you've got a really hot micro player who's stretching you, Devem, and he's causing a 3-front engagement.
Yeah, I almost dare to say that this game is looking like it's going to be an early Asiamint win.
It's looking like it. We're only 13 minutes in, but already he's only lost 12 victory points versus nearly 200. And one thing I want to draw people's attention to, as I say, is the reconnaissance of Asiamint, because he's got this great micro and just really good positioning. He always knows where Izzy is at any time.
Yeah, and look at the sneaky cutoff maneuver now to the right. Oh, never mind, that's not a cutoff. Just noticed.
It is, yeah, he needs to get 2 points there. He needs to go over to the lumberyard, but it's still putting pressure down, and he managed to get a tripwire flare BM kill off, so it's all good.
It's also a player that uses the conscript traps a lot, and the mines, he spams all over. Like, he uses every munition that he can to.
He's basically like a South Korean love nest, isn't he? He plays a lot with TACMAP and a lot with these, mines and tripwire flares.
No, he really is, in the sense that he's also a very safe player. He doesn't seem to take risks, or like the risks he takes are very measured. So
yes, indeed.
In that sense, yeah, I do feel like he's a bit like Love Nest.
He's not. You wouldn't say he's completely risk averse, but he is a conservative player. He waits. He waits till he's got a full stacked hand before he throws all of his chips in. You know, if it was poker at least.
and we have the T-34 out now with just one Raketen on the field. I feel like in the next few minutes the map control is going to be all over, like blue.
T-34 goes straight in against the Raketenwerfer, but doesn't hit, but at least he knows the positioning now, and he's able to continue to put this pressure down.
What this means is it's probably that Asiamint is going to have control of the right side of the map, because that Raketen needs to be on the left side to secure that fuel so it doesn't go away. That means that we are going to see on the next few minutes the right part of the map going to be completely also good.
Absolutely. T-34 is on the warpath, just looking for an approach. Where's the Raketenwerfer? He just repositioned, but now the T-34 is coming into the centre, so he can't reposition fast enough. As are the conscripts who got coordinated fire. We do finally have a shot in against the T-34, but he's got nearly a full bill of health. He'll be able to continue his operations. The support weapons are working overtime, Devem, but Asiamint's like a wolf at the door right now.
Yeah, it's looking very good. I don't think that he'll be able to hold the gut up for very much longer. The thing is that these T-34s, you know, they are very cheap, so we can expect a second one really soon.
It's it is the strategy with any like cheap medium tank. You don't want to just throw it in and look for squad wipes. You want to try and build them up, don't you, Devon? Like an armada, you know,
yeah,
like trying to get 2 or 3.
I feel like the only way, so let's talk about how easy he can come back from this. I think that the only way he can do that is if he eventually gets the P4 and he has to play out of his mind with it.
Yes.
Get some lucky shots.
But don't forget he has the heat round, so with the Panzer IV and a Raketenwerfer played well, you know, it is possible to pick the T-34s off from afar, and it is of course going to be plural, and he has played conservatively with it. This guy is his top draw right now, one of the probably top 3 players in the world, along with Lovenest and Kimbo. Although Alpern beat Lovenest, so he's immediately trashed Devon forever now. It doesn't matter if he's won 2 World Championships and he's won 2 tournaments this year already. He's trashed Devon. We never talk about Lovenest ever again because he got beaten once. That's how it works. You know that as good as anybody, right?
Yeah, it's like I have known Lovenest for quite a while, and I'm happy that he's now trashed here. So.
Yeah. But then again, you know, you lost the game to Angry Dutchman, so you're both the greatest of all time players are now trash. So we don't need to talk about them ever again. Devem's now a caster helping AE cast, so that's how it works, Devem. You know, you're only as good as your last game, and everyone knows that. Oh, of course, this is a parody, of course. We, you know, form is temporary, class is permanent, and all these top players can always strike again, and that's what makes the Master League very exciting. We can have regular tournaments. So not only have we got a new crop of players, like the Asiamints, Alperns, Izzies of the world, all these old tournaments, and did I just see left the match?
Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm going to try to catch up with you. It was a bike splat, of course. Off the cut.
Yeah, indeed. We've had a Devem book splat. I thought that my parody of like people's attitudes to players was like you'd taken it seriously and you'd gone for only a split second. I was like, oh god, he thought I wasn't joking. But look at
always
this.
Happens at the best occasions.
You know what's a really good tip, by the way? Just watch it on Twitch because it's a microsecond delay. It's like 0.3 seconds, so it won't even make a difference.
Ah, okay.
So we've got the wolf at the door right now. Asiamint has amassed his death blob of destruction. He's got a Dushka, T-34s, and this is just like Soviet propaganda at this point, you know.
Yeah, right now I don't think that Isildur has any way to come back, to be honest. You won't get the fuel from that. P4 won't be enough to break that.
As I say, the Panzer IV coming out as Devem mentions, but oh dear, this thing has the world on its shoulders right now. It's the Wunderwaffe that's been built, and it's a little bit disappointing as Wunderwaffe goes. It's not some crazy supersonic rocket or a 200-ton tank. It's just a tank.
I think that definitely this incoming loss is all about that early game.
Yeah, and I've got the replay saved up, by the way. This has been a very active game, but I've got the replay of the moment that the game was never looked winnable from your position, at least, Devem, as a fellow elite level player.
I didn't, yeah. I think that scout car not working out in the beginning of the game kind of settled the game.